Story number 1, why does my mom so worried me? My mother has made me so uncomfortable. I used to feel safe and at home around her, but now I just feel gross and hate when she touches me. She looks at my privates when I ask, "What are you doing?" She just says, "What do you mean?" and smiles. She touches my butt. She acts like it's funny. She stares at me for minutes at a time. She comes in my room and just stays and stares, and she does this smile, this creepy fucking smile that she knows I hate, and it doesn't stop. The earliest memories of those things are maybe we're ages 6, 8. It was a summer day and she calls me down to help her with laundry. I come down the stairs and she's sitting down and we do laundry and everything was fine. Then she went into her room and came out wearing nothing but panties and a see-through top. I could see everything. I made it obvious I was uncomfortable, but she stayed out and smiled. Recently I have been trying to stay away, but it's really hard. My family is made up of my mom, my dad, and my 3 older brothers. I have been getting yelled at for not hugging her and trying to stay away. My dad has been yelling at me and hitting me for being mean, but how could I be around her when she does things like this? My brother have started to dislike me cause of it. 3 days ago I told my father that mom makes me uncomfortable. He didn't take me serious and said your mind is just playing tricks on you. My mom doesn't do these things when people are around. People aren't around most of the time, considering my 3 older brothers work and are all above 18 and my dad works. What should I do? I'm 16 male.
Story number 2, almost got together but ended up getting back with the ex that fucked him up. So I met this guy at my job when he came in to buy lunch with his coworker. Super cute, made jokes the whole time he was ordering. He paid for their food and they say in the lobby and waited. I got to take my lunch and he ended up inviting me to sit with them. Long story short, I asked for his number and he gave it to me and we started talking. He took me to a Mexican restaurant a few times and we went and saw a movie. The thing is, he told me in the beginning he wasn't ready for a relationship. We never had sex or anything because he didn't want to, but he did tell me I was very pretty and he liked hanging out with me. He came into my job for lunch all the time because he loves chicken and we'd just talk and eat together and he'd give me a tip if I brought him his food. We talked about his breakup. He wasn't over a lot and it was pretty sad. Told me a lot about his ex and their relationship. We talked about me and our jobs, my daughter, his kids. Just about everything really. He even got me into Rocket League and we played together online when he was home and felt like playing. We were talking about maybe giving it a chance and actually going out on a date. About a month ago he told me they were talking again and he seemed a lot happier and I knew that something was up. Well, around 2 weeks ago I get a text saying they're getting back together. I got pretty upset, said some stuff I probably shouldn't have and he blocked my number. I just don't get how or why he'd go back to someone that left him for someone else. It hurt my feelings because I thought we were getting together and I just overreacted. I know it was dumb, but I was really into him and he was just so easy to talk to. He never pressured me for anything, just an actual decent guy. So now I messed up us maybe staying friends. Apparently someone texted both of them talking shit and he thought it was me. When I asked if we could stay friends and apologized for everything I said, he just said no, but he appreciated me being there for him and he hopes I find someone that can give me what I'm looking for. I'm pretty mad at both of them, but mostly at myself. Catching feelings for a guy who told me he didn't want a relationship was just stupid. P.S. Mackenzie, you're a bitch and I hope he realizes he deserves better than you, fucking skank.
Story number 3. I hated my ethnicity throughout my childhood. This is the first time I've ever come on here to write a story, and it's a deeply personal one about my experiences growing up as an immigrant from Nigeria and the United States. Throughout my childhood, I struggled with feelings of resentment towards my ethnicity. Our immigrant family of 5, which included my 2 younger brothers, mom, and dad, moved to the U.S. when I was around 7 years old. Due to our undocumented status, we had to live in a 1-bedroom apartment, and I often felt envious of middle-income families who had homes and more stability. As I began attending school, the challenges multiplied. On my first day of third grade, I felt like an outcast due to my Nigerian accent and the difficulties of adapting to a new culture. While my science teacher was welcoming and kind, my ELA teacher treated me poorly, making me feel like I was a burden to her. She would treat my peers with respect, however she never even tried to hide the fact that she hated me. My experience with her made me desperate for validation. I unintentionally became a teacher's pet later on in elementary school, which caused further isolation and difficulty throughout my time in school. Although there were other Nigerian kids in my school, they were born in the U.S., which made me feel like an outsider. Additionally, I faced uncomfortable situations like unwanted touching from a creepy boy, and when I reported it to my math teacher, she dismissed me as a snitch, making me feel more isolated and unsupported. As I moved on to fourth grade, my self-hatred and disdain for my ethnicity intensified. I considered lying about my background when asked in classwork about my ethnicity, and even traditional African hairstyles my mom did for me became a target for ridicule from my classmates. However, there was one shining light during fourth grade, my math teacher, Mrs. O. She treated me with warmth and respect, making me feel valued and appreciated. Despite losing contact with her, I still remember her fondly as the best teacher I've ever had. In fifth grade, I started feeling more positive about myself until my first day of school, when my teacher's expression of disgust towards me shattered my confidence. Sensitive and hurt, I cried silently in the back of the class, and instead of receiving support, I faced more ridicule from my classmates. My teacher would see them making fun of me, but she did nothing. Her indifference only reinforced my feelings of being an outcast and filled me with self-loathing. Despite the hardships I faced, I share this story to reflect on the impact of these experiences on my journey. It's essential to acknowledge the challenges immigrant children may encounter while trying to fit into a new culture and the importance of nurturing a supportive and inclusive environment in schools. I hope that by sharing this personal narrative, we can promote empathy and understanding for individuals facing similar struggles and inspire positive change in how we treat others, regardless of their backgrounds. Let's work towards building a world where everyone feels accepted, appreciated, and valued for who they are.
Story number 4, my girlfriend got me flowers for my birthday, and I cried for hours. I, 21M, and my girlfriend, 21F, have been together for about a year now, and everything has been great. Sure, there have been a few ups and downs, and recently we have been having some struggles, to which I will not go into great detail. But basically we were having some troubles connecting really. I think there was a big communication issue on my end. But we have been working through it, and it feels like we are fixing our differences slowly but surely. Today is my birthday, and I was over hanging out with my girlfriend last night. We went to go get some late-night McDonald's and watch some Too Hot to Handle on Netflix. Don't judge me, I think it's funny. I had to go home that night, so I was getting ready to leave her apartment when she stopped me at the door and put a vase of flowers in my hand. It was a beautiful bouquet of whites and pinks and reds, and it was absolutely gorgeous. She whispered happy birthday to me and then came the waterworks. I told her that I love flowers, always have, and that these are the first flowers anyone has ever given me. It seemed like no one really gave a rat's ass about me before to do something so nice. I was completely surprised and shocked, and I couldn't help but let out the tears. Not sad tears, but happy, wholesome tears. I cried on her shoulder for a few minutes, just holding her and thanking her over and over. When I pulled away, I kissed her on her forehead and said good night, and went out to my car still with tears in my eyes. I drove home guarding the flowers the whole way home, doing everything in my power to not damage them. They were beautiful. I got home, took a seat on my bed, and while holding the vase of flowers just continued to cry and cry and cry. It was one of the kindest things anyone had done for me, and I just felt so relieved for whatever reason. I kept looking at the flowers, and I would keep crying. I must have cried for another hour and a half while sitting on my bed holding the vase to my chest. Then I got ready for bed and put the flowers on my bathroom counter. I don't have a whole lot of other places in my apartment to put them. They're my favorite possession at the moment. I love my girlfriend. I love feeling loved and even wanted for that matter. I think it should be more normal for guys to receive flowers. That shit just killed me in the moment. That's all. Thanks.